Hello, everyone. My regulars and my newbies. Please hit that subscribe button because you are going to love what you hear. All right. And hit that like button if you like what you hear at the end. Okay. All right. Hope everyone's doing well. Today, I have a very special guest for you. And she is a very busy lady. So I'm happy that I caught her. I'll tell you a little bit about her and then I will let her introduce herself formally, okay, for you. But she's a busy lady. She's into the educational field. She has studied literature, mythology, Spanish. Very intelligent lady I have here coming up. And she has written so many books. She also has some extra businesses. So I don't know how she does it all, but she's going to tell you here today. Okay. So I am with no further talk from me. I'm going to introduce the busy, intelligent author by the name of Mrs. Priscilla Ramcharan. Welcome to our channel here.
Thank you, Mrs. Echols, for having me. I know this has been in the works for about a year now to
Oh, yes.
connect. And, like you said, things happen, but timing is everything for us.
It is.
So I am Priscilla Ramcharan, originally from Trinidad and Tobago, currently in the United States, and I dabble in a little bit of everything. And I actually found Miss Eccles while I was searching for Caribbean women's writers group, and that's how we connected. The rest has been history.
It has. It definitely has. And she's a moderator in my created Caribbean group, female writers promoting their books and scripts and so forth. She's a moderator there and a participant in the group. So thank you for that. Thank you for joining. Thank you for everything that you bring to the table there.
Thank you for
All
trusting
right.
me as moderator in your group, and I am making
Definitely.
the utmost effort to do my job.
You do it, and and you've earned the badges for it too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so you've told us where you're from and what you dabble in. So definitely tell us, how did writing begin for you, or what age did it begin for you?
Writing started at such an early age for me, when the teachers would give us little assignments, write sentences, things like that. I always had these creative ideas. And I just love the flow. I love the smell of a crisp, clean sheet of paper, a nicely sharpened pencil. So it was just something naturally that came to me, but also being an only child, reading and writing were one of the top options. Yeah, you had toys and all that good stuff, but
Right.
education, in a Caribbean household is dire. So I
Definitely.
always had writing materials, reading materials to work with. And I think the creative process just came naturally.
That's great. That's great. And you got me laughing over here with the smell of the paper.
Girl.
I don't know if I go that far with mine, but but that's interesting that you love it so much. That's great. That is great. So what kind of areas do you tend to stick with, the genres? What do you write specifically?
Specifically, a little bit of everything
Okay.
from educational material with Spanish workbooks, Saucy Wow and his crew, the fictional story based in Trinidad, talking about Trinidadian culture, food, music, and mischief.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
And then we have some self help, law of attraction. I can't seem to focus on just one thing. And
Yeah.
sometimes that could be a downfall. But at the same time, I don't have any pressure to focus on just one genre, but whatever inspires me in the moment. Better believe it's going to be in a workbook or a story.
Yes, that's where I picked up your mindset tool book. So yeah, it was really good. It was really good. And I like you, I love assets to my book. So when I write a book, I like to have a journal piece behind that someone can journal about, or
Yes.
a picture frame that they can see their own self in this book in the light of the topic, but frame it at the back or something like that. So I love your books because of that as well. So tell us a little bit about Saucy Wow.
Saucy Wow was inspired by my daughters. So we would tell stories aloud at bedtime and make sure that they're the funniest. So you're cracking up before you go to sleep. And then one day I decided, you know what? We really need to get this on paper. And we started writing it together. I would read back what I wrote to them. They would give me feedback. And I would say, the girls being so fun as they are, and they love their food. They love delicious food. Like my youngest will tell you if it's not good.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I have that here too.
Those are the reliable ones. You know, they're
Yes,
telling you the
yes, they
truth.
tell you the truth. They tell you like it
It's not
is.
good. So that's where Saucy Wow came from, was just that entertainment aspect, but also teaching the girls about the Caribbean culture as they were born here. They were more integrated with the American culture. But I try to keep it real around here, the Trinidadian culture, the food, the music, and they just love the jokes.
That's great. Can you give us a little piece, a little taste of one of them, or you don't have it to hand?
I do not have any at hand, but
Okay.
one that is very popular on Teachers Pay Teachers is
Oh,
Saucy Wow and the Magical Mango Tree.
okay. So you hear that? You hear that, audience?
And with Saucy, it's never your traditional this dimension kind of story. There's always a magical element. He's always getting into trouble, and then his conscious will either take him into a dream state or he'll encounter. For the magical mango tree, there was this bomb. I'll tell you a little extra. And the bomb turned out to actually be someone that wanted to help him.
Mm,
So there was that
okay.
twist. Mhm.
Oh, nice. So you know I have to go out there and get that one specifically.
No, I will gift you a copy because you went and bought Mindset to Self-Love when I was offering it complimentary. So now we can be square.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. But
Nice.
I'm still getting my saucy wows because that cart just sounds like a trip.
I'll send it to you.
Definitely, I like it. He loved his. Was it pillory or doubles? Which one?
Doubles.
The doubles, yeah, and then him with the orphans, and yeah. So I see a lot of your books out there that I definitely will get a copy of, and I hope you guys do too. So tell us with your writing, what necessary tools and setting and mood must be created for the success that you have with these books.
Well, I have to say, like I told you, that fresh, crisp sheet of paper. And I can show you what I'm working on right now. It's a book for
Sure.
my husband. It's upcoming. My sweet Trinidadian American dad. And like I said, I just start off with a clipboard, some loose leaf paper, and I'm jotting down notes. And once I've exhausted the pen to paper motion, and I'm like, all right, then I start typing the first draft. The funniest story is a while ago when we first moved in, we had bought a table from the thrift store because we were waiting for the other furniture to come in. Of course, you need something in the meantime.
Right.
And this table stayed with us. And that spot is, like you told me before, the inspiration. When I sit there, it just flows. I usually don't need too much music because then I'll start singing and get distracted. But I may put on something classical or maybe a little jazz, something very, very light
I
because
love
my attention span, I got to work on it, but it's a little
Right. That's
unreliable.
me
That's you.
too.
I call it mom brain. What do you
Yeah.
call it?
I don't think I have a name for it, but that might be it.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for that. We see where your mood has to be. So tell us about your latest work or where Saucy Wow is taking you next, too.
Ooh
Tell us
la
both.
la. All right. So our latest work is Globalization of Hearts.
Okay.
And I was inspired to write this book when I met the steel pan player, George Rampersad.
Oh, I remember him.
Yes, and he lives in Denmark. And we connected over one of his songs called Suitcase from Trinidad. I don't know if it's the same for Barbados, but when you're going home or coming back, you've got everything in there.
They don't allow it now, but yeah, we used to put everything in there.
Girl,
Oh,
and now you have to pay extra per bag.
oh yes,
Whoa. So that's
definitely.
kind of good for us.
Mm.
So globalization of heart. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I was saying you take more time to pack now. Be so
Right.
specific. But yeah, you're right.
Yes. Or just wear all your clothes and just go. Have mercy. So I thought about, well, the West Indian Women Network to connect folks, Caribbean folks around the world who are living off of the island and doing amazing things. And when I met George, I was like, you know what? We need to write this down. There's so much going on that amazing, creative, intelligent Caribbean people are doing. But our hearts are still home. We're still thinking about Trinidad. We're still thinking about Barbados, St. Lucia. Um,
Definitely.
but we need to spread our wings. So
Yeah,
that's where globalization comes in. Our hearts are always home, but we're out in the world doing things.
that is beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait. When do you think that's coming out?
That
Sometime this
came
year?
out last November. So it's actually
Oh, that's
live on
out
Amazon.
already.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
great.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
that's great. That is wonderful. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for that
much.
book. Do you
And
think we're
Saucy.
going to
Oh,
see? I was
hmm?
going to say, do you think we're going to see some more Saucy Wows, though?
Yes, Saucy
Okay.
Wow. The latest that came out was Susie Chutney Creating History in the Times of the COVID that came out
Oh, right.
last March for
Okay.
Women's History Month.
Mhm.
And now I think we need to talk about Saucy surviving COVID. What was that vaccine
Yes,
like? What was it like wearing
right.
that mask all the time, going to
Definitely.
school? Right. So that's
Funny.
the thing.
Continue. Sure.
That's where Saucy Wow was going there. And then I was inspired to write my boarding school stories. So I don't know if you know, I earned a scholarship to attend boarding school in Farmington, Connecticut, Miss Porter's School.
Yes.
And I became class rep. And then I went back to teach for my scholarship program.
Okay.
And I started having deja vu, remembering the high school days, boarding school era. And I said, well, that's something that needs to go in the history books. So those are pending.
Okay. All right. I'm staying tuned and I'm definitely looking out for them. I'm going to be buying some of those because they seem funny. I can't wait. Can't wait to get my
Thank
hands
you.
on them. All right. So, do you have a set time frame for your books? Usually, when you're writing, do you decide, okay, I have a deadline for these to meet and give yourself up to this time to complete your book?
Depending on the book. If it's a workbook, I like to push those out as quickly as possible because it's simpler. There's not a lot of creative thinking, it's worksheets and factual information.
Right.
But if it's something of fiction, I don't like to pressure myself at all because then it comes out feeling that way, feeling stuffy.
Okay.
So I like to write that first draft, take a step back, come back when the inspiration moves me. But at the same time, the one thing I require is writing at least one sentence a day, just to ease your mind.
That is definitely a good choice. Definitely beautifully said. So take us a little bit briefly on your publishing journey with your books.
Publishing always seemed daunting. I never knew about independent publishing. And when I spoke to publishing companies, the prices were outrageous. And I'm just like, well, I'm a stay at home mom. I can't shell this out right now. And by the grace of the law of attraction, I don't know if you know my love of the law of attraction, KDP kind of came to me, Kindle Direct Publishing. did a little research and took my time and went through step by step. Lots of errors with the formatting. OMG, I don't know if you have that problem.
Yes, yes. I couldn't do it myself. So good for you.
So that's why I try to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah,
And
or I
I'll
needed.
s- I'll stick with KDP just because I could do it on my own terms, design it how I want, and it's not gonna break my pocket
Right.
to do so.
I'm there with you. So
Mrs.
how do you,
Echols, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have a confession.
oh boy.
I totally forgot. I'm actually in the middle of a spur of the moment upcoming book. This one is Saucy Wow's Carnival Magic.
Ooh.
So this is
Mm.
actually what I've been working on that snuck its way in between the
I
other parts of
see. You're like me. We get little sneaks of other books that need to come through first.
I think so, and that
Yeah.
is just how it works. But like
Mhm.
I told you, I'll start typing the draft and then I'll go back and I'm doing some research and stuff and just allow it to come together. That's the best way.
That is
But
the best way. And that's how you get your best ideas. Brainstorm, you map it, you put it out there, and then you put it together later, right?
that's right. My apologies for interrupting.
That's okay. You scared me for a little while. Thought there was something coming, or you couldn't hear me. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up soon.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
I know you have a lot going on. You have other businesses. It's not just the writing, it's not just educating your kids at home and so forth. So, how do you balance all this? Tell us. I might get some extra tips for me.
I think the more pressure that you put on yourself to organize and plan and prepare, the less likely you are to maximize your time.
Okay.
So I will say, this is when I'm going to sit for an hour. I'm going to look at my draft. I'm going to, you know, interact with it, read it out loud, listen to how it sounds. Um, and then with the businesses and the teaching, the platform that I work for, they kind of create my schedule for me. So that's a relief where I know during these set periods, that's when I'm teaching.
Okay.
And then the business building, don't tell my business partner, but I kind of build that in the cracks of my schedule just because it does take time. It takes time to reach out, to follow up, to connect, to schedule. Um, and luckily, you and I, we both have amazing husbands that can create this environment where we can foster our entrepreneurship. We can learn and grow within our space and take care of our kiddos and
Definitely.
manage. Yeah. So I try not to put any pressure on myself when that moment comes, or I have said to myself, this is when I'm going to do that, do a power hour and just build here. And, and that's how I go.
That's wonderful. Some words of wisdom and definitely true on the husband part. Okay, so what lessons, what messages, what little takeaways do you wish for your audience to receive from your books and from today?
Well, absolutely. I want you all to know that there is such value when you find like minded people that you can work with, joke with, create with, help them get to the next level. They help you get to the next level. So while we can do what we're doing alone, it is phenomenally more productive, more fun, and more rewarding when you have your team.
Definitely. Definitely. Nice. Nicely said. I'm going to take a tiny detour before we close it up, and I'm going to ask you, as far as the Caribbean Female Writing Promoting Their Books and Scripts group, how does this help you? And if there was something you would change, what would it be?
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I found you in my search.
Mhm.
And I love when I open up my Facebook and I see you have, how are you all doing today? You'll have a GIF, you'll have a prompt. You are the ideal teacher, let me just tell you. And even though sometimes I'm not always, quick to reply or respond, I will take it with me as I'm going through my day. And I wish that we could certainly have much more interaction, but we're all so busy writing for one, right? Taking care of families. So I do love knowing that we have that support there. And the one thing I wish was that we were all closer so we could actually physically be in a group chatting and talking in that way.
Yes, as one of the things that we had mentioned in connection to that was it would be nice if one day we could all come to the middle and have some big fair where we tell everyone not only about our group, but about our books and how we network and celebrate each other. And I think that would be really awesome. So let's put that out there that it could possibly come to be, right? Let's speak it into being.
Everything is possible.
Yes, so
It's the
one last thing.
humans that we wait for to do it.
That's true. Definitely true. Okay, so one last thing. Share where we can find your books. These
Absolutely.
beautiful books.
So it's all on Amazon.com /author /Priscilla Ramcharan. I also have some material on Teachers Pay Teachers, like inspirational collages. I love to cut out words from magazines and just piece them together in a word collage because that also helps the creative thinking process when you're seeing words that don't really belong together, but somehow, this works. So, yep, those two platforms.
Love it, love it, love it. You heard it for yourself, guys. So go out there and grab one of these exciting books, mindset book, workbooks, saucy wow books. There are plenty to choose from. Thank you so much, Mrs. Priscilla Ramcharan. Thank you for being here and sharing your work and sharing so much with us today. I appreciate it, and I hope you come back again.
Thank you, Mrs. Echols. This is fun. I always love our conversations. You
Me
are
too,
just
I really do.
incredible. And, you're a gem where you've created such a space for us to come together. And I really appreciate you as well.
You guys are creative and definitely gems of the Caribbean. So I welcome that and thank you again for being a part of us.
You're welcome.
Okay, so audience, you heard it, and please check the description box so that you can see her information and everything about her and go out there and grab a book. See you, take care, subscribe, like. Bye.